restricted access on the roads leading to the Cathedral Church of Christ on Marina, Lagos Island. It is here at the church where the body of the late former interim Nigerian leader arriving in casket covered in the national colors that his final burial rites are starting from.
No past, no eye, no anything else in creation will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus.
Family members are joined by guests, including former president, a high-powered federal government delegation led by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, state governors, and others. A call to order, hymns, and Bible readings.
For we believe that Jesus died and rose again, and so we believe that God will bring with Jesus those who are fallen asleep in Him.
The day's sermon is given by a former Anglican primate of the Church of Nigeria, Jasper Akinola, a man who related with the late Shonekan closely.
Nothing is too far for the Lord. In his word of business, a noted captain of industry and guru of the boardroom, as the head of the largest business conglomerate in Nigeria, he was not only very resourceful and successful, he was well established and contented.
Dr. Shonekan was a famous and an accomplished player in the corporate world who was called in to serve as Nigeria's interim head of state in the heat of the June 12 political crisis in August 1993, before he was overthrown in a palace coup 3 months later. The preacher shares with the congregation how difficult it was at first to persuade the boardroom guru to take up the political appointments.
At first, when he was asked, he declined. That much I know. But then pressure mounted on him, home and abroad, that he should please save the country and accept to stand in the political gap which Babangida had created. He was reminded that nationwide at that time, tensions were running high and that anything could happen in the barracks. We also knew that from the very beginning of his journey to political nationhood, this country called Nigeria, since independence, has been a blood-letting country. Should violence be allowed to break out again, we will not have an idea of who will be consumed in the process and who will remain. It was from that angle that he was persuaded and reluctantly said, well, maybe he will stand in the gap, even though very risky, but Nigeria is more important than himself.
It is the turn of the Vice President of Nigeria to share a thought on the deceased, and his perspective is on how the former interim leader lived an exemplary life of two consequential halves, both in business and politics.
We would be right to think of Chief Ernest Shonekan as a man of destiny, a man chosen for his time, just as we would also be right to think of Nigeria as a nation of destiny, uniquely positioned to be a rallying point and an inspiration for the entire black race. He proved by his life that destiny for one or for a nation is a manifest result of small choices made every day by ordinary people, doing the best they can and persevering in goodness.
Body departs the church for the final resting place at the vaults and gardens in Ikoyi, with some display before the convoy of family members and dignitaries. The final burial rites continue with graveside Bible readings and prayers. Then, dust to dust as loved ones bid the 85-year-old final goodbye. Then, the traditional 21 gunshot salute to finally send the former commander of the Nigerian Armed Forces to his eternal home.
He really did a great thing for Nigeria to really take the mantle of state during that crisis period and to hold it and to ensure that it keeps on going, to ensure its future development. And when the crisis came and he had to relieve his post, he did it graciously and did it courageously.
This man definitely, by all accounts, by all measures, by all standards, has fulfilled destiny. And his life and times will continue to remain a reference point in history for generations unborn.
When he was chairman of Vision 2010, I was invited to the Vision, and after that I became the first woman from the group to be a minister. I'm forever grateful to Papa.
Shonekan was not just a man who led Nigeria at a difficult period, but one that not a few in this crowd believe was misunderstood in his decision to put his life on the line for Nigeria to survive during that trying political period.